Hello everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of I Cast Fireball, an actual play 5e D&D adventure where we go through the campaign Tyranny of Dragons. I'm Tom, your DM for this adventure, and around the table we have...
Malamara,
Lansthalen,
and Fleeple.
Last we had left our adventurers, they had entered Waterdeep, taken a moment to reflect at the Singing Sword, where the entertainment for the night was a literal singing sword. And after just taking some calm and some peace and some quiet and reflecting, they each were able to center and find themselves, so to speak, or at least calm themselves in Malamara's case, having drifted off to sleep. And with that and the city of Waterdeep in front of our adventurers, we're going to join them on this week's adventure. So, Lance, Fleeple, and Malamara. It's the next day, and all of you are walking a boat, so to speak. And you are enjoying the sights of Waterdeep. It is midday, roughly, and you are just taking things in, discovering the sights, visually looking about, and you are actually near one of the tall statues which I mentioned previously. This statue that you are passing by, it's interesting, and I believe I mentioned it last time, but a neighborhood has been built around the statue itself. It's not in an ideal place whatsoever. Like, you can tell by how the roads veer away. Instead of going through the city, they have to circumvent around this particular statue. There are houses that have been built up around this, a few businesses in particular, but it is a good tall statue, probably a good 40 feet tall, and it is just majestic to behold. This one is standing both feet, just standing straight and tall, but its arm is raised to the sky, holding a sword, brandishing it, pointed towards the sun itself. Now, these statues are not uncommon in Waterdeep, but they are a sight to behold. They are scattered across Waterdeep. Some are sitting, some are laying, some people have people living in them if they're hollowed out. But this just happens to be one that has taken up residence in this particular area that many, many centuries ago, and that Waterdeep has then been built around this. While you are taking in this sight, however, Fleeple, with your passive perception, you see a gray bearded dwarf in a peculiar uniform, and this dwarf seems to be he just started to walk very slowly out of an alleyway, seemingly clutching something close to his chest, and is looking around very nervously. And this draws your attention because he seems to be noticeably anxiety-ridden.
I, being a somewhat socially anxious person as Ned Wilcock, the actor, I kind of want to let this guy just be, but I feel like that would be...
Let him just go on his day. Let him be.
If I was anxious and I was walking around the largest city in the region, I probably wouldn't want random people to walk up to me and say hi. But in any case, I'll walk up to this man and say hi.
As you walk up to this person, the dwarf looks at you, sees you approach him. He starts to move a little bit towards you, and just as you're about to say hi, the dwarf, which was gripping something close to his chest, opens his mouth, and then his face goes a little slack, and then, without catching himself, falls face first right into a pile of mud directly between you and him, just full movie style, if you get what I'm meaning, where he just not catching him whatsoever, just like a board falling to the ground, just right in this mud pile, right between you and him.
Oh boy. I'll walk up to him and I'll kind of pat the sides of his face, pull out a sprig of mistletoe and wave it under his nose. Is he responsive at all?
As you pull his head up and pat his cheeks and do the mistletoe, his eyes are open, but they are lifeless. This dwarf is dead.
I'm going to turn to Lance and Mal, and I'm going to say, well, Should we alert the authorities? We would probably get involved in a pretty nasty sort of legal sort of situation if we did that.
Fleeple, what did you do?
Well, what I have done is just confirmed that if you see somebody who's anxious in a city, you should just leave them be.
You gave this man a heart attack.
Apparently.
Hey, you, over there. What's going on over there?
This man just fell dead in front of me. Do you have any physicians of any sort who might be able to help out?
Good heavens.
Fleeple, you're a cleric.
Well, yes, I'm a cleric. I know about Bahamut, but I don't know about heart attacks.
This guard was on the street and seemed to have been at least aware of this interaction and the dwarf falling, and so runs over and goes, here, make some room. Are you a doctor, or are you some sort of a medicine creature? Or?
I can roll a medicine check, I suppose, if the DM will let me.
Yeah, go and roll a medicine check.
All right, that is...
I will assist Fleeple, but really, I'm actually patting the guy down.
Oh, okay, sounds good. So you're like, Fleeple, I'm going to assist you, but Nets, we'll just take your straight roll here, not with advantage. So
okay.
Jacob will be sleight of hand trying to steal from this guy, loot the body.
Well, not steal. I'm trying to inspect it, being like, what the crap was going on? Who is this guy? Trying to find things about him.
While these two are kneeling down at the body, Mal will activate her warlock invocation, detect magic.
Oh, I'm so glad it wasn't Arms of Hadar or some crap like that.
That is a 17 medicine check.
17 medicine check. All right, sounds good. So you have, by necessity, have had to adopt some medicine madness in your past, just being the shaman of your tribe, and just through your adventures, you had to know how to take care of yourself. The very obvious thing is this dwarf is totally dead. Heart has stopped, eyes are wide-eyed, just completely gone, dead. And what you do also notice with your medicine check is there doesn't appear, at least at first glance, to have been foul play in the death of this dwarf. It appears that, from what you can gather, is that this dwarf, this man, seemed to have just fallen down and died due to natural causes.
Natural causes of actually having a friendly face in a city.
Man, well, I thought maybe there was some narrative significance to this man, but I guess not.
Thomas is just giving us old people with heart attacks.
Let's have you roll a sleight of hand or an investigation check is what you were thinking, Lance.
Yeah, I'm obviously doing this somewhat on the side, obviously trying to keep it hidden, but yeah, I'm just trying to I'm pretending to help Fleeple assess the medical conditions, but as I'm doing, I'm kind of turning my hands through pockets and looking at different maybe signifiers of rings or necklaces.
Well, and that's of course you have to help identify who this man is. Is he a diabetic? I mean, come on, we have his medical history.
Does he have a diabetes bracelet? What's going on here? Yeah.
Roll an investigation check then.
All right, that's going to be a non-natural 20.
So, Lance, as you're going through these pockets, there seem to be a few trinkets here that are noticeable. There's a small pouch with just a day's wage worth of coin in it. So a gold piece and 5 silver and a few copper in there. Nothing, honestly, not even worth your time. But there are some other things here. There seems to be and Mal, you actually come across this as well with your Eldritch Sight. You pat Lance and you go, hey, there's something magical in his left pocket. And as you pull it out, there's this tiny, almost this miniaturized broom. It's about maybe 2 inches tall, just this really small stick. But as you look closely, it's a broom with some bristles at the end of it. You're like, what the? And then in his right card, you see some papers, which are some identifiers. The identifiers name this as Buron stern metal. That's the dwarf's name, Buron stern metal. And underneath it, there's this seal, which the seal is also represented on his tunic on the front, which is a broom and a mop in an X emblazoned on a shield. And underneath it, it says, Custodians United.
He's in the Custodians Union.
Yeah, actually. That's exactly what this is. He's in the Custodians Guild in Waterdeep. But those are the only things that you see on this person. And Malamara, those are the only magic items that you feel on this person individual. There are a few magic items on some of the passerbys, but yes, just the small broom is the magic item on this dead dwarf. The guard is like, oh, good heavens. I've seen this man walk by this street every day for the past 5 years since I've been posted in this location. It's just, do you sense foul play here? As he looks to the three of you.
I sensed nothing, I'm afraid.
Is there some, internal beef in the Custodian Guild? Because otherwise I'm not sure.
Well, I'm not a medicine person. Yes. And he looks over, and this woman guard runs over and goes, Angeline, come here. This poor man, and she goes, not Buron. Yes, I'm afraid it is Buron. Buron, no. Well, let's try to move the body as gently as we can off the streets to prevent a panic. And so they usher it back into the alleyway a little bit out of the main street here and try to gently move some of the mud off of his face. But Jacob, I actually forgot to mention that on his chest that he was gripping underneath his tunic seemed to be a book that this person was supposedly clutching to.
Can I get the book?
Absolutely. As you reach underneath the tunic, because it was underneath his tunic, you pull it out, and it's a square-shaped book, which is a little unusual because, as we know, books are rectangular, but it is a square-shaped book. And on it just says...
My feelings. His feelings journal.
On it just says deconstruction, but it's spelled interestingly. Dekonstruction. And it apparently has an author's name of Isajar.
Did Malamara pick up anything magical on this book, or was it just me finding it? Okay.
Mal, you're like, no, there's nothing magical in this book, and it just appears to be a normal book. And the guards are so busy taking the body that as you slip it with your very nimble fingers, they don't notice that you open it up and start to look at it.
What was the title?
Deconstruction.
With all the C's replaced with K's.
That's right.
Is it written in common? What languages is it written in?
Yeah, this is a common book. It's not a common book, but it's written in common. And as you open it, you can read the words. It's quite thick, but you could spend a little bit of time with it if you guys want to sit down with it. But
what's the first 2 pages? I'll look at 1 page while I'm waiting.
I love how Lance is just so eager to read through weird, crazy books that we find.
Well, yeah, that's my niche right there. But I found this. A dude died. Fleeple's parent is interested in this guy, and the only clue I found is that he was clutching mightily under his tunic a book. And so I'm like, okay, what the crap is this thing? And so I'm just looking at the first 2 pages just to see what does it start talking about.
Yeah, so the biggest thing about this book is this book is mainly diagrams and descriptions of a lot of locations in Waterdeep, including some of the statues in Waterdeep. Those are the ones that take the largest space in the book because you have to turn it. They're sort of like a centerfold, if you will, but it's over 2 pages, so you have to hold it vertically to see the statue from top to bottom, and it has a lot of diagrams in it. So it seems to be some sort of description about some of these locations in Waterdeep. Not too descriptive, but I'll have you roll. In fact, anybody who is wanting to kind of peek over Lance's shoulder, I'll allow an Arcana check.
Arcana?
Well, I have advantage on Arcana because I've still got this rune on my forehead.
And I have a -1 to Arcana.
I am an elf, so I actually get a proficiency in it.
That's a 23 for Fleeple.
23!
And that's a 24 for Lance.
Ooh, yeah!
That's a 9 for Mal.
Yeah!
I noticed the K's were different in deconstruction.
Book. It is book.
Ooh. Really playing into stereotype right there, Mal. Really playing into that orc stereotype.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
Book has K's.
Wow, 23 and 24.
Book has K's.
Book has K's. So, Lance and Fleeple, both of you on your own, as you're looking at the same page, you get most of the same information. But with you putting pieces together, you realize that there are a lot of diagrams and a lot of views in this book, but one of the pages is heavily smudged with like soot, and it's quite dirty, and you're like, these couple pages have been viewed frequently and a lot. Like, this is obviously important. And so you spend some time looking at these diagrams of the statue, and it's actually of the statue right in front of you with the sword pointing upwards. And as Fleeple, you're looking at this, you go, oh, this statue. This statue is built differently than all the statues, meaning that there is something underneath it that is significant. And Lance, you recognize that oddly and weirdly, this statue has a built-in like ladder system to go from the ground all the way to the top. And at the top, there seems to be this like established room with chairs like all in a circle. And there seems to be a weird, very strangely, a wheel like to a ship directly in the center of the room. Like it's like somebody took a wheel from a massive vessel of the sea and put it right in the statue, right in the head there. And those are the big things that you get from the diagram here. But as you are looking at the basement level here, you recognize there are some heavy, like, magical machinations down here. You can't quite ascertain as to what they are or like what their purpose is, but this is unusual that there would be something built underneath a statue with this much magic in this specific way.
I just love the image of like in the middle of the street as guards are hauling off this body, a elf and a kobold are looking at the centerfold of architecture. In a book, and on the other side, and we're like just like pointing it out, and then on the other side is just Malamara reading the cover over and over again to herself. Like, K's, yes. Why are K's in this spelling?
Well, should we try and get under this statue, do you think?
Let me hold on a second, and I'm gonna go to one of the guards who maybe, hopefully, is like coming out of the alley, or at least like kind of guarding the entrance of it where they drag the body. Excuse me,
And this is Angeline. She's dabbing her eyes as she's like tearing up, and she goes, "Oh, gosh,
I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry.
Time took you from this world."
Yes. Oh, time.
Oh, yes.
And
what?
Age. Hi. Just wondering, this man who just died, was he in charge at all, or did he have a function of taking care of the statue right above us?
Huh? Oh, well, you know, he's part of the custodials guild here in Waterdeep. They're in charge of this whole like area to make sure that like, yes, the statues taken care of, and the streets, and, you know, just some of the facilities and plumbing, and, you know, the magical wiring and such.
Gotcha. Emotion. Yep, it's hard. Do you know? It's not a person. He's not a person's person.
He's not a person.
He's not a person. Lance is not a person.
He's not a person. He's not a person's person. He doesn't really like emotions. So, yes, sorry for your loss again. What's the purpose or, like, significance of this statue? Like, is there a reason why it needs to be taken care of?
Oh, we just need to take care of all the statues in Water. Is this your first time at Waterdeep?
Yes. Sorry, I didn't get the shirt yet that says it, but yeah.
Yeah, well, we just need to make sure all the statues are taken care of, so if we ever get invaded, Blackstaff can activate them and protect our city.
So the statues the statues are like a protection thing.
Excuse me, and she pushes you aside, and she just starts walking out into the main road as she is just beside herself, and the other guard walks up and goes, She takes it a little bit hard. Baron, he's been real close to us, and we're sad to see him go.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So, what do you know about the statues?
Well, have you ever been to Waterdeep before?
This is my first time.
Oh, well, the statues are here to protect us in our time of need when Blackstaff activates them to try and defend Waterdeep, and so just need to make sure that they're operational, which just usually means that nobody's, living in them, or that there's not any, like, magical creatures living inside of them.
So that was...
oh gosh, I can't believe he's gone.
That was... Oh, no. Emotions from you. That was Stern Metal's job, was to just make sure they're up and going and ready, and no one's living inside them.
Him and all of the custodials guild, they not only this statue, but the surrounding area, in case the statue has to, it has to draw power, magical essence, things like that, taking care of the pipes, magical wiring nearby, and all that.
What is with this? Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye. Sorry for your loss. Bye.
Thank you. And he walks over to you, Fleeple. Thank you, citizen, for ensuring that somebody was there when Buron passed. I'm grateful that he had you to help him.
I'm grateful that I could help. Your city is so exciting. Here, take a gift.
And I'm going to hand him a stick of incense.
Thank you.
Dick.
Thank you. And he walks away clutching the incense with one single tear dripping from his right cheek.
I'll go up to Fleeple and I'll kind of to the side, trying to not have Mal necessarily overhear it. So
she's just looking at the book and shaking it and looking at it, shaking it out, flipping through the pages, looking for things written in it.
And I'll say to Fleeple, I'll be like, this could be nothing. This could be something. This custodian who's in charge of these statues that guard over I was about to say Winterfell again. Where am I? Waterdeep. Everything has W's. Never Winter. Waterdeep. It's all W's. So this could be nothing. These statues that guard over Waterdeep, but I don't know. I know we've talked about Malamara. We've both been concerned about her. This might be just like a fun little side thing that we could do. Take her totally away from like the pressures of Errtu. We're here for like a month, just chilling. Maybe we could like make it a cool thing of like, let's get to the top of the tower, see if we could do it. Like, we're amateur. What are those people who like recklessly go into caves when they shouldn't, but they're like, we're doing it anyway because screw.
Oh, but you're talking about urban exploration.
Yes, we could be the urban explorers of Waterdeep. We could, like, write a book later about it. I don't know. Malamara needs to get her mind off of what's in her mind.
Yes, as they say, the idle mind is the demon's playground, so we should probably make sure that...
And we don't want that playground being played anymore in.
Yes.
Quite literally.
I think this would be... It's like an escape room, you know? We go to a new city, find something exciting to do to keep ourselves occupied. Except somebody actually died.
We're amateur urban explorers, escaping rooms, and searching dead people.
Yes. Malamara, do you want to go inside a statue?
Malamara!
She shuts the book and Hold it to her chest. Sure. That.
Malamara, listen.
Yes?
These
What?
statues, they're supposed to protect Waterdeep. We have a
Okay.
month's time until we're going to talk.
Yes.
If the cult of the dragon, we're going to do something. And like Lance is like really trying to make it sound really cool, but he's hamming it up a little bit because he really wants to like make
Roll a
Malamara think
performance
we're
check.
really supposed to do this. Like if we want to make sure that the cult
On
of
board.
the dragon doesn't
Here
get
for
into
it.
Waterdeep and foul up the meeting, we got to make sure these statues are working, right?
As Mal looks at him, she can tell that he's hamming it up.
Yes.
She's confused.
A negative one in
why
performance,
she's hamming
baby.
it up. Exactly. And she just, instead of questioning it, goes along with it, and almost opposite him is now going to play up the hamminess on her side of how important. Yes, absolutely, let's do it. I don't. This book seems very important. Let's do it. You said it's the statue. Is there like a button? Is it like an escape room thing that we were?
We're
is
gonna
it,
find all the
Right
Okay, cool. All the
at
buttons.
this moment, there is a massive earthquake.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
And I need everybody to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Mickey's. The role play was amazing on camera. Just the shaking.
I feel like we're at the beginning of like a National Lampoon Vacation movie or something. They got to Waterdeep and you wouldn't believe what happened.
Holiday Road.
It's a critical
Going on a
fail.
trip. Oh my god. So wait, we're rolling what?
A dex save.
Just a dexterity saving
This
throw.
doesn't count for my danger sense, right? It's not something that I can see.
No.
That's what I thought. Just making sure.
You can't see vibrations in the ground, Malamara?
Yeah. 16 for Lance.
But I felt it because I had a non-natural 20.
Haha.
I felt it.
So, Fleeple, you're the only one that's knocked on your keister here. Everybody else is able to maintain their balance here. And Fleeple, you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall to the ground.
Oh, wow. Ouch.
And everybody on the streets are just as nervous. It only lasts 5 seconds, but it is an intense 5 seconds. Everyone just starts screaming and yelling and like, what was that? And did you feel it? And here woke me up from my nap. And running out to the streets, everybody's talking, and it's kind of like utter chaos right now on the streets. Everyone's just like, and just chattering and chittering away, and the guards are rushing over to try and maintain the peace, make sure people are okay, and ensuring that the buildings are structurally sound. The buildings are structurally sound, so to speak.
Just leaning against the wall.
Not
So to speak.
Not so to speak. They are. None of them have fallen. None
So
of them are
to
on the ground. They are structurally sound. No so to speak whatsoever.
As that happens, I'm just like, the earthquake kind of subsides and everyone's panicking. I kind of like, as I was faking, like hamming it up for Malamara, like, yeah, we should check it out. We should do it. I like look at her, and in dead seriousness now, like, we should really check out the statue.
We should probably go and statue.
Yeah,
Let's
we
go
should
on.
really
Yeah.
do that.
Instead of being like, hey, buddy, let's go do this. Okay, no.
No, for real,
But
let's go.
seriously, we need to do this.
Yeah, we should really do
For
that.
real life.
And I'll help Fleeple up off the ground.
Okay. As all of you, throughout the chaos, you try to find your way weaving through alleyways to get to the base of the statue. And as you are trying to get to the statue, it gets even bigger. I mean, clearly, the closer you get to a tall object, the bigger it's going to get. But the feet itself are just looming. The feet are just looming over you as you try to get to it. And there are some gates and walls, actually, that seem to have been built around the statue itself. But with about 5 to 8 minutes worth of investigation, you're able to, with a brisk pace, find a gate, notice that it's unlocked, and just kind of slip in. And you come to the base of this statue, and you find that there actually is, in the leg itself, a little hole that has been not dug out, but it is an open hole in the statue, allowing for you to climb up into, up and away, so to speak, the statue. There's a ladder in there that has been built into the stone itself. But it looks like you're climbing for most of the way, all the way up there.
Who wants to go first?
I will, and I'll fly.
You'll fly. Is the ladder on the edge of the leg, or like, on the outside, or are we going into a hole in the middle of the leg to climb?
Yeah, good clarification there. Yes, you are entering into it, and then you are flying. Fleeple is flying up, and there is enough space for him to flap his wings to just fly vertically. So he can do that, but Malamara and Lance, you will be climbing up, but it is not just in free open air. It is in this tube, this shaft, so to speak, which will fall all the way down to the ground level if you happen to fall. So, Fleeple, you're the first one, and you fly about 20 feet up. This is the ladder opening that has, you climb out, or you fly into this. There is a door that you open so that nobody can just freely fall down this ladder. So you open it, and this room is revealed to you. This is a circular room, as you are in the leg, or rather, you're in what you think to be part of the leg of the statue. So it is a circular room. It's only about 30 feet in diameter, so 30-foot long circle. But in this room, there are stairs that go up to another floor above. Now, this room is all wood, which is interesting to have in a stone statue, but here's some of the things you noticeably see. It smells of books that are lined from floor to ceiling all the way around the room. Just here visually, you can see some like pseudo bookshelves here. These are lined with books, and these books are just a smattering of titles at first glance here. There are wood frame doors set with small diamond-shaped panes of glass keep these books secure on each of these shelves, each section of which has a rolling ladder anchored to a ceiling rail. Now, the thing that you also see are 3 individuals coming down the stairs to the ground floor. And so you do have a moment to act before they see you or hear you, if you would wish to act.
I'm going to do a Lancy thing, and I'm going to sneak. I'm going to fly up into like the most sort of dark, secluded corner that I can, and I will latch myself up onto the ceiling because nobody ever looks up.
Mm-hmm. The ceiling is about 10 feet up, so you do find like a hanging light that you could hold on to while you're up there, and you are a little bit silent, so you whoosh, and you fly to the ceiling. Go ahead and roll a stealth check, please.
All right. That's a 5.
All right. Cool.
You got this, sport.
That's not... D4 isn't going to help me here, I imagine.
So, as you fly up to the ceiling, you're like, all right, and you go to the ceiling, you hold onto it, you hear these 3 individuals come down the stairs. These individuals are a female human, a male rock gnome, and a male half-elf as well. They all have almost the exact same garb as Buron, the dwarf, that died in front of you. They have the same shield with the broom and the mop in an X formation emblazoned on their shirts or tunics that they're wearing right now. And as they come down, they're just discussing a matter, and as you're focused on hiding, you don't hear what they're talking about quite yet, but just as you get in your hiding position, you grab the light, and as you grab the light, it actually gives way a little bit, and so there's this loud metallic as it gets pulled a little bit from the ceiling, which not only draws the attention of these 3 individuals, but it also draws the attention of who's coming up first, Mal or Lance?
Lance is sneakier than Mal.
So yeah, I'll be
Mal
first.
was second. Just kidding. Yeah. So Lance, it also draws your attention. Everybody looks up to Fleeple. You look down at these 3 individuals. You all look at each other. And the 3 individuals look at each other and go, and just yell, "For Stonky!" I need everybody to roll initiative, please.
For
Stonky?
For Stonky.
Do we recognize that name at all?
No, you don't. You have no idea who or what a Stonky is.
Oh my gosh. Every time. Initiative sucks.
Bet it's not worse than mine. I got a 6.
It is. I got a 5.
Wow.
I rolled a 1.
Oh boy.
I got a 21. So what I lack in intelligence, I make up for in oomph. I got the get up and go.
Malamara gotta go fast.
Fleeple.
6.
Lance.
5.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting a battle today.
Mal.
21.
Mal was expecting a battle today.
There it is, and you're on the stairs behind Lance.
Yep. I can sense it, guys. Something's coming. I can sense it.
I sense battle. There will be blood.
There will be blood.
Well, Mal, you are first.
Great. I look up at the bottom of Lance's boots and whisper, "What's going on? What did they say?"
I don't know. They look mad.
Do you want to try and move by him at all, or?
Nope.
She shoves me
That's
off
my
the ladder.
turn.
Okay.
That's her turn.
All right. So with that, the one closest to you, the rock gnome, is going to brandish a weapon at you. And it is going to go for Lance here.
What?
And the rock gnome's going to go, "I would die for Stonky!" So, Lance, does a 19 hit you?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna kill this rock gnome. Yes!
That's 7 points of slashing damage.
Not if the rock gnome kills you first, Lance.
Little
max damage.
rock gnome.
And they're going to make a second attack, too.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Natural 1.
Oh.
So they slash at you, and you're like, "Ah!" And then they go for you, and you kick them back a little bit, and they go, "Oh." And they turn back and go, "Chicken Peach, it's your turn."
What?
And they said, "Chicken Peach, it's your turn." The one closest to Fleeple looks up at Fleeple, pulls out a short bow, and is going to fire away at you. That's a 7.
A 7 misses. However, I'm going to pretend that it hits.
Acting.
Okay. Can you roll a performance check?
Sure.
Oh, you shot me.
That's a 15.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So how do you pretend that it hits you? Like, what do you? How do you sell it?
As it flies past, I let go of the light fixture I'm hanging from, and I flutter clumsily to the ground so I don't take fall damage, but I do kind of sprawl out, and I just go, "Oh, Bruin just wanted me to look at the light fixtures."
Oh, okay. And this one, Chicken Peach goes, "Brune, you're a friend of Brune's? Get them!"
Oh, no, bad idea.
Get them. Okay. Oh, great. They're evil custodians.
I won't make you prone, Fleeple, since that was all flavor, but I'll say that you're on the ground now. You are crouching, so you're not prone necessarily. Their bonus action, they're going to put away their bow, and they are going to pull out their sword as well, now that everybody seems to be on the ground. So that is Chicken Peach's turn. So, Fleeple, it's your go.
Well, I was hoping that maybe these guys would be friends of our dear departed dwarf, but seeing as they're not, and everybody loves that guy. If these guys aren't friends, then they must be
enemies.
horrible people.
I like the logic. I really like the logic there. That's good.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good.
Which is,
I like it.
I am debating how lethal I want to go with this. Is the
Go
question.
all the way. All the way.
Okay.
They were just doing
Yeah.
their job, man. They came to
No, they
work
weren't.
today. They didn't think they were
No,
going to
they
die.
weren't. I've never met a custodian who pulls a knife on someone right when they walk in a hallway. It's not cool.
And I mean, if a man just died, these people are obviously enemies of that man. We should take some action in regard to that, you know? Which is why I'm going to cast a 3rd level Thunder Wave and hit those 2 guys on the west side of the wall.
Does that incorporate me too?
It does not.
No, it does not. Okay, what do they have to roll? A dexterity save? Or constitution?
I believe Thunder Wave is Constitution. It's been a while since I've cast Thunder Wave. Let me check real quick.
Been a while.
Yep, that is a con save DC 16.
Well, Chicken Peach got an 8.
Nice.
And the other one, Alpaca Macadamia Nuts.
What?
What are these names?
This is... they did get a 17, though.
Okay.
I mean, I know we live in a fantasy world, but come on. Let's get our names right here, people.
That's going to be exactly 20 thunder damage.
Woof.
So, Chicken Peach, after they pull their scimitar, you thunder wave them. And as you thunder wave them, Chicken Peach flies backward. Their back hits the stairs, and you hear this loud crack, and the body just sort of like go limp. So Chicken Peach seems to be departed. Alpaca Macadamia Nut, however, seemed to be... they took the damage. They didn't fly back, but they are hurting. They are hurting quite a bit. And that was 10 because it was halved, right?
Yep.
Great. Okay, so that was your action.
And with my bonus action, I'm going to use my Draconic Cry, and I'm going to shout, "For bronze stern metal!" And that is going to distract all of these guys until the start of my next turn. Myself and all my allies have advantage on attacks against enemies within 10 feet of me.
Oh, which is everybody.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a very
Nice.
small room.
Very nice. There you go.
Attack engaged.
Yep. And Lance, it's your turn.
All right. Sneak attack time. With that advantage, I can do sneak attack. I'm looking at this freaking rock gnome in front of me. Just wondering what absurd name they have.
Cow Cotton.
Good.
It's the most normal.
Good. Good, he says.
Good. That will be with advantage with my short sword. Yeah, I take out my short sword and my dagger, and my short sword gets 18.
18. That is a hit.
All right, time to die, you little rock gnome. All right, that's 1d6 plus another 4d6.
Whoo.
Sneak attack. 26 points of damage.
Oh, wow. Lance, how is Cow Cotton dispatched of?
I just as I look at the cut on I imagine I was like, hey, and he cuts my hand or something. I'm like, ah! I just grimace at him and just take my hand that's been cut and just press it on his face and just shove my blade just into just at the heart, just to
He goes,
be this is why this is happening to you. You cut my hand, did not make a friend.
Stonky. So, okay, so that's your action.
And then bonus action, I will take one of my daggers that I have, and I will use my bonus action to throw it at this other dude.
All right. Did you want to do that, or did you want to do your your subclass thing?
That's right. I haven't done this in so long. On a successful sneak attack, yeah. You can target another creature within 30 feet of you. This is not even
Yeah, it just happens.
You roll half the number of sneak attack die to your level. So I get 2 sneak attack die. And this creature takes the damage. So I'm going to roll 2d6 at him. And it's just an automatic thing. That is 5 damage. So as Lance puts his hand on the guy's face and shoves the the short sword, into kind of his chest. He then, with that same, like, almost, with that hand with blood on it, kind of almost like whips it around, and like a shadow dagger shoots out from it and strikes this guy.
Very nice. As it strikes this last individual, they're like, oh! And they are on death's door. That's your action, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a movement and bonus action, I believe.
Then bonus action. So Lance is what he's going to do then, is I'm going to just use my movement, walk up to him, and just take out the dagger, and I'm going to try and do a non-lethal damage to knock him out, because I'm mad at these people, but I also want to know, one, what's with the names, and two, why? Just why?
All right. So go ahead and roll an attack.
Does this attack get advantage as well?
It's advantage. Yeah, it's still advantage, because he's within 10.
Ooh, wow.
Or
Both
they are.
rolls were not good, actually. With my dagger of venom, I'll use my dagger of venom for this, just to add a little bit more. That's only a 13.
13's hits.
All right. So I will use, if he's on death's door, I'm going to use...
Not plentiful in the armor area here, these custodial guild members.
Custodians aren't geared up with armor. Yeah, then I'll just use my... I'll roll for the damage, which a dagger is obviously a d4. But if it does kill him, I won't kill him. I will try and knock him out instead. That's a 4.
All right. That is enough to knock this person unconscious. They fall down into your arms, so to speak, just as they're about to take their turn. So, well done. You have dispatched of these 3 individuals.
I like how Mal's...
And Mal, you pop up and
Mal's
go...
turn.
Ah! Oh.
Mal reaches the top of the ladder and takes in the scene around her at the carnage that the Jinx Squad leaves in our wake. And this is very normal for her, but there's also a part of her, inside of her, that bubbles up, that enjoys this sight and this feeling. And as she looks at the bodies and looks at Lance with this unconscious body in front of him, knowing that he's still alive, she feels this desire to end his life, to kill him. And then she kind of realizes what that is and tries to suppress it and push it down, because this is not a good thing. It's not okay that these men's lives have just been extinguished. She shouldn't feel good about it. She wants to mourn that, and she wants to keep that part of her orc side suppressed and embrace that empathy of humanity. So she tries to suppress that. It feels very similar, feel like, to The Thrill in the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. That desire and that suppression of it.
Mal, since you are taking this moment to suppress these emotions, you take in a little bit what I haven't described quite yet, and that is directly right in front of the staircase. And as I mentioned, the ceiling is 10 feet tall, and this is like a spiral staircase, so it goes up and out of sight. And that's how Fleeple was able to attempt his stealth check there at the beginning of the battle. But right in front of there is a desk, a chair, and something behind it. So against the far wall, a wooden staircase covered with green carpeting leads up. In front of the staircase rests a gold credenza with images of farm animals carved into it. A high-backed chair with burgundy cushions sits behind the credenza itself. And the motif or the imagery of the farm animals is odd, but may describe why some of these people have the names that they do. And as this oddity is in front of you, you look around, all 3 of you, looking to see what the heck is going on here. And with the captured member of the custodial guild in your hands, we're gonna stop this week's adventure of I Cast Fireball.
We got a little rat.
So, got a dwarf dying of a heart attack, some overcome emotional Waterdeep guards, a adventure into a Waterdeep statue, and crazy named custodial members attacking you upon sight. Just another day for the Jank Squad, and we'll find out how this gets resolved next time on I Cast Fireball. My players, thank you so much, Ned, Mickey, and Jacob, and listeners, thank you especially for joining on this week's episode of I Cast Fireball. It means the world that you would jump into our adventure, whether you're just jumping right now, or if you've gone through our entire back catalog. We thank you so much for your listen. It just lets us know that you like what we're doing, and to continue to inform us of what you like and what you'd like to see on future episodes, please leave us a 5-star review with some additional suggestions, things that you like, which those reviews help get us into other people's recommended feeds, and it just lets us interact with you as well. If you want to leave something a little bit longer than a 5-star review, shoot us an email at icastfireball2020@gmail.com. There you can start a conversation with us where we can go back and forth on ideas. We've had people send magic items over to us. We've had people request Crunch Squad episodes that we can go through. And so if you'd like us to explore an option, explore additional content, shoot us an email. As always, don't forget to follow our social media pages, which is Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and our upcoming YouTube channel, where we are currently dropping our audio-only podcast, but have an upcoming surprise for you listeners that you might want to be aware of. Go follow us at @ICastFireball20. As always, we're giving a shout out to our sister podcast, Improv Tabletop, where they do fantastic storytelling in an improv setting, both in established worlds and made-up ones right on the spot. It's a ton of fun. Ned is the GM. Go give them a listen. They just finished up their first season of their Avatar Legends role-playing game. Yes, that is Avatar The Last Airbender for those that are fans of that. And they just began their second season, also in the Avatar world, but with a twist on the mechanics that they are using. So if you want to figure out what those are, go give them a listen, and don't forget to leave them a 5-star review. Lastly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with our friends and fellow wacky adventurers. But until next time, I'm Thomas, your DM, and around the table we have
Malamara.
Lance Thalen.
And Fleeple.
Let's keep that fire going, and we'll see you all next time.